Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I am making a modern masculine birthday card, but I'm using some of my new loves and my tried and trues. And yeah, we're just going to jump right in. This is the card I'm making today. It is the Hipster deer stamp set, the big and bold from Colorado Craft Company. And I am back at it with my Distress Oxide sprays and mica stains. Guys, yeah. So this is an entire 8.5 by 11 piece of watercolor card. Like, I just thought, if you're going to do it, just do it. I don't show my whole process with this, but again, I did have trouble stopping. I did. I won't lie to you. I love it right there. Again, that could be a mocha one, right? And then I add the little blues and greens there with the salvage patina. Gorgeous. Oh, and I can't stop. But in the end, I do love it, and I show you some up close pictures. And I've actually made 3 projects out of this. So I made this birthday card for my friend down in Wilmington, and I also made a birthday card for my sister. They both share a birthday tomorrow on September 6th on Labor Day. And then I made a fall art project with some beautiful pumpkin dies from Whimsy Stamps. So I will probably be sharing those other 2 projects, my sister's birthday card and the art piece, over on Instagram, maybe on Facebook. But I just didn't want to, make this video too much, because I tend to do that, and I'm trying to grow and learn and scale myself back a little bit for your sake and for mine. Which you can't tell that in what you're seeing on the screen, right? Because I'm just not stopping again. But I don't know if you saw or not, there's a big blop of the bronzy color. I think that is the broken broomstick, if I'm not mistaken. When I pulled the sprayer out to just put some splashes of the color, it pulled out a big clump of the mica. So I had to break that up a little bit, but it's really saturated right there. But look at that, it turned out gorgeous. See how those oxides just dry back? And they're so much softer and so much more pale and chalky, which I don't hate, but I love the glitter and the shine and the sparkle of the mica. It's just so very pretty. And you can see down in the corners where it stayed wet on dry versus in the middle where it was wet on wet and it blended. So, but I really like it. And again, you can see it's a full panel. It's an 8.5 by 11 piece of card. And so it was kind of hard to cut it down, like trying to figure out where I wanted my card panel to be. Of course, it's a slimline. You can see that it's going to be a slimline card. And I'm using these stamps from Indigo Blue. I'll have the name listed downstairs, and of course this is that same star stamp from All Create that I used on my ATCs recently, and I just feel like that star is really cool. It's kind of a nautical star, and it's just interesting, and it adds just another layer of interest and texture and pattern. And this is another of the kind of textural stamps from the All Create set, this one as well. And I'm just wiping off some of that excess ink. And you can see I'm not using a stamp like an acrylic block or anything like that. Definitely not my Misty. I just want hints and just little bits of the stamp itself. I don't want it to be a full-on image. I just wanted there to be some texture and some interest. Now these wings that I have down are the same wings from the Momento Mori set from All Create that I used for my ATCs, and they are going to be wings behind this hipster deer, and I think it's so fun and so cool. Now they're just very subtle. They're going to be stamped in brown and heat embossed in brown, and they're just a subtle background. And honestly, when you look at the card, if you don't know they're there, you don't know they're there. But until you start looking at the details, and it's like, oh my gosh, he has these grungy, drippy wings. So I stamped it in that brown acorn ink, Versifying Clair, and I used, it's Antique is the name of the embossing powder that I use. It's again from Brutus Monroe. It was just what was nearest to me. And again, I just wanted some sparkle. Even though it's a masculine card, it's for a guy friend, I just thought, you know, why not? I mean, if I didn't do some sparkle, I wouldn't be being true to me. And guys like sparkle too, right? And it's still very masculine, very fun, very modern. And it just turns out to be just a really fun image, and I love him with his suspenders and his human body. It's just whimsical and modern and fun. And so again, using that glittery, sparkly, vintage embossing powder. Let me tell you the exact name. I've got it right here. Yep, it's called Vintage Sparkle, and it's a bit of a cream color. I've had this probably 2 or 3 years, and it's about half gone. It is, I don't know what size this bottle is, but it's a bigger bottle. Yeah, I don't know. Getting caught up in the things that don't really matter. So, you can see that I have that little bitty paint palette going on there, and what am I using to paint with? Distress Oxide sprays and mica stains. I just dabbed a little bit out with the sprayers, added a little bit of water both to my card panel as well as the inks and stains that are down, and just using them as a watercolor medium and not doing anything fancy, trying to add a little bit of interest and add some different colors into the antlers. And I wanted like a little bit of different color to the sides of his little beard. You know, as you know, we're getting older, men tend to get little gray bits in their beards on the side there. I thought that would be fun, though it wasn't gray, it was just different colored, kind of orangey, when the rest of him turns out to be this yellowy browny gold. And then I put a little bit of a pinky pink in his cheeks, and then I'm using the salvage patina for his shirt, and it just ends up being the perfect way to pull the salvage patina out of that background. And I just love it, the whole thing, the color scheme. You know, using the same colors in your image that you use in your background just marries your whole piece together. And I really had fun using these as a paint medium. Now this is, I can't remember if it was Bristol Smooth paper or if it was Nina, but it definitely is not watercolor card, and I should have used watercolor card. I think I'd have had a better outcome with the overall. Maybe not a better outcome. Let me back up. Maybe the process would have just been easier, because this like wanted to pill a little bit, and you know, of course, if it's not watercolor card, it's not going to be able to handle, you know, a whole lot of moisture. But it did fine. It did fine. Just in retrospect, that's one of the things that I would have changed. So I'm having a lot of fun though. I'm using some of the browns mixed with the salvage patina just to add highlights on the wrinkles and the shadows. And then here I pull in this mesh dot grid. I think that's the name of it. It's one of my favorites from A Colorful Life. You can see it is well used. And I'm using a baby wipe. This is a technique I learned from Vicky Papiano, and it just kind of pulls up some of the ink in the background. And look at that, it's so cool. And actually what it ended up doing was pulling it up and then spreading it around. That's why it's darker. And then I'm using the same stencil and my watercolor brush and just kind of painting some on. And that wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be, but it's there, and it added another layer. And so here I'm also going in with my Distress Texture Paste in the Crackle medium, because you know that's one of my favorites, and just adding some more layers. And I love the way this paste, it kind of reactivates those Distress Oxides and mica stains on the background, and it turns color. It pulls, it wicks some of that color up out of the background and creates a new color in and of itself into the dots, and it's so much fun. And that dot stencil is definitely one of my favorites. So you can see I fussy cut this guy out, and I'm in love with him. Look at that. You see those wings, and you see how the Distress Paste has kind of discolored, and now it's kind of that grungy yellowy. I think it's fun. And so I've stamped on there "Sending You" above his head, and birthday hugs. I've die cut out of the it's the Bitty Buzzwords stamp set, and I have the coordinating dies from Honeybee, and I love these. This is probably one of my most used sentiment stamps, or sentiments, whether it's a stamp or a die. It's probably the most used that I have in my stash right now, because it just covers everything. And yeah, I used vellum for the background or for the shadow, and I've got, oh, I don't know what kind of, it's a matte medium, I guess, that's in that little glue container, and it's really hard to squeeze out, so I'm having a hard time. I'm out of my other glues right now, so I need to place an order. Payday's still so far away. The realities of craft hoarder. Anyway, so I used some fun foam or some double-sided foam tape to mount my little dearie up because I want him to have some dimension, and I glued the happy or the birthday straight down, and then I'm going to lift Hugs up a little bit with some foam tape as well. And I offset the entire panel over to the left because I didn't want to have to cut off his horn. And I die cut the background panel with a die set from, it's from Pink Fresh. I can't quite reach it, and I don't want to get too far away from my microphone, but I'll have it downstairs. It's one of the dies from their essential set, and I love it. It's so much fun. And then once I had him glued down, the foam tape was pulling up the dots, the paste. So I had to go back behind some of those and just add a little dab of glue and push it back down. And I have not used Wink Estella in a hot minute, but my pen was just calling to me, so I added some Wink Estella to the horns and to the suspenders, and now I'm just adding some sweet little clay hearts. This mix is from, I want to say it's from Twiddler's Nook. It could be from Sparkle Blends, but I'll have it listed downstairs. I don't want to give credit where credit's not due, but I want to make sure that I give it where it is due. And I think it is, well, I don't even know. I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, I'll have it listed downstairs. But these are final pictures of my card. Guys, I had so much fun making this for my new friend in Wilmington, and I hope that he likes it. It's his first handmade card, and he's a little excited, or at least he's pretending to be. Maybe he just wants to make me happy. I don't know. I don't even know. But anyway, sending birthday hugs to my new sweet friend. And then, of course, like I said, I made one for my sister, and I made an art project, and I'll be sharing pictures of those on social media in the coming days as well. So guys, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. As always, if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of my crafty tribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell so you're alerted to all the videos that I post. And for now, I'm out. Thanks.